All right, we're going to play some basic fantasy role-playing game today, continuing our little campaign. Um, a quick recap: essentially, last time the adventurers had rescued the master mason, a dwarf named Stonebeard. That's what we're going to call him, and he's going to hopefully break down the golden door that was found a few sessions back, which, you know, more than likely will present the group with vast amounts of riches, probably never seen in this region before. What trouble could befall people that hold this kind of valuable treasure? Nothing, probably. Um, but we'll get right into it. We're gonna say that they have stopped. They took their ship back from the bay after escaping the this Thief's Island, this Bandit's Island. They rescued some slaves there. They took the ship. They left. They've made it through the bay, down the river a bit. They've pulled off, we'll say, at the town of Prophet Hill, and they're gonna, I guess, continue from there back to their home city, Clearhaven, I believe. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna get right back into it. We'll say that you've rested up. So you found a nice little tavern to stay in. It's morning, maybe a few days after the events from last session. Perhaps the slaves have been set free and given to the guards, and they're finding the help they need. And we'll just start right off doing a quick introduction with my far left, Daniel. What do we see Sammy doing?
So Sammy, of course, having been in town now a couple of days, has been checking out the local tavern scene to see if she wants to expand on her tavern that she's got in Clearhaven. She has plans to expand, and now with the new poet Mandel in tow, she thinks she can probably possibly start like a whole chain of taverns. So at this point, she's kind of like checking out real estate.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure there's nice pamphlets on fine real estate to be had in the region. Let's see, who's next? Micah, how do we see Lorsch after a few days rest?
I think Lorsch wasn't actually with them, but I imagine she's joining them in town because she knew that they were going there, and she's probably just following around Sammy because she's still not used to civilization and more used to orcish culture. So she's following her around with big eyes, interested in all the things going on, and asking her about what's real estate.
Taverns are real estate.
Yes, and as Sammy and Lorsch are discussing the finer intricacies of purchasing real estates, we'll go to Lauren. How do we see Lauren?
Yeah, so Lauren is very uncomfortable in towns. So he's just a ranger, and he likes to be on the road, and he likes to be shooting things. So he generally tends to kind of keep to himself, kind of keep his head down, and just kind of count down the days until he can get back out into the great outdoors.
Very good, and I'm sure in no time you will be back in the great outdoors. And last but not least, Tony, how do we see Fergus?
I am playing Fergus Budge, a human thief. He is sitting in one of these little taverns that appears that he's maybe caught a cold or something off the ship that they come in on with the dwarves, and he's getting over his cold as he's sniffling and sneezing and drinking a cup of lemon honey tea. And he's also taken this short sword that was given to him, this +1 magical short sword, and he's really polishing it up and making it look pretty again as he's sitting there sipping on his tea. And he's just, I've got to get myself back to full health here. May have to find another one of those tricky locks or something that they may need my help on. And he's just kind of sitting there, pretty much like Lauren, just trying to get his wits about him instead of himself now.
All right, very good. And yeah, we'll say the master mason dwarf is rested up as well, and you'll find him probably in the bottom of the tavern, in the common room there, probably getting nice and inebriated before the day starts. Yeah, and that's what we're going to kind of kick it off. So essentially, you're trying to get him back to your golden door. Where is the golden door, by the way? Had y'all brought that with you? I can't remember. Or
In
no,
the
y'all.
chest,
No.
right?
No, I think we had talked about taking it, and then for some reason, and then we realized, why would we do that when we could just bring him to us? So
Right.
yeah, we didn't take it with us. The golden door is buried beneath the floor of the expanded part of the tavern. We haven't expanded yet because the door is there. I'm turning that into a place where people can sleep, like a common room.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, the floor is yours. Basically, however you want to get going. If you want to just shoot out of the town now, if you want to spend some time there, if you want to explore the outskirts, it's kind of up to you guys. So know what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I think we probably want to get back. And if most of the party feels uncomfortable in town, Sammy probably is oblivious to that, but eventually figures out that we should head back because there's a golden door to be had. So yeah, if we want to get our group together. So we were in town for 3 days.
Yeah, about 3 days. I'm gonna rest up.
So 7 weeks and 3 days is what's left to finish training my cow. Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I say, Sammy comes in and says, "Hey guys, we must prepare ourselves for a long and hopefully uneventful journey back to town. So let's grab some supplies and be on our way."
Okay, so Lauren's dead keen to be on the move. So he'll grab his pack and be ready to go.
Okay.
Fergus looks over at you, and he sheathed this short sword as you come in the door, and he doesn't acknowledge you at first. He pulls up his cup of tea as he finishes the last of the lemon honey tea, and he sets it back down. He drops a couple of silver coins on the table, and he gets up and he pulls out this fancy handkerchief that appears to be stitched with the name of maybe some count or duke or baron or something. He puts it up to his nose, and he blows his nose in it, and he puts it back in his pocket, and he says, "I'm ready."
I'm standing directly behind Sammy, suddenly out of thin air, ready.
All right, Jeremy. So I call for my henchman, Jeremy the Great, to grab my bags, and we head towards the battle wagon, I guess.
Yeah, Jeremy would be there almost instantaneously. He's really wanting to impress you, as he wants to be a great adventurer himself. And he'll take the bags and bring him to the wagon.
I will buy him some basic stuff in town, because I think all he has is the clothes on his back and the heavy pick +1.
Correct.
So yeah. So okay. I've got a backpack and stuff, so he has gear.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I'll subtract that from my money.
Yeah, y'all got so much money, you can...
Yeah.
you can probably buy the village that you're in, so... Which is an option. If you
eventually.
Yeah.
Once we have the door.
Right. All right, cool. So, yeah, so I think the journey with the size group you have now will probably be... Probably about 2.5 days, I think, to get back to Clearhaven. And taking the wagon and all this in tow. Yeah, so it's early morning, before noon, but after 9. It's sunny, it's cool, kind of crisp breeze. Yeah, and you're free to start your way. There doesn't seem to be anyone trying to stop you yet.
Fantastic. So yeah, I guess just we'll make sure the Stonebeard is safe inside the battle wagon, but I'll be riding my cow. So everybody have horses. I think we all have horses, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're on horses. Yes.
Very cool.
Fergus is going to be about 20 feet in front of the wagon, in front, riding, and he doesn't really want to see the party know that he's still not feeling completely well of this cold, but he's riding along and he's got his light crossbow strung across the saddle and stuff, kind of halfway hidden just in case something does approach. But he's 20 feet in front of the wagon.
Very good. And what about the rest of you? What's like the general marching order? So we have Fergus up front.
Sammy will be probably in the back as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren will be quite close to Fergus, keeping an eye on him.
Cool, cool. Put the wagon here. What about Lorsh? Are you closer to Sammy?
On the battle wagon, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Of course, of course.
Yeah, and we'll say Jeremy's on the wagon as well, just for.
And Jeremy, cool.
Maybe he's learning how to use one of those giant crossbows.
Yeah, it sounds good. Mendel will probably be back with you, Sammy, I imagine. Spouting off some poetry. Or you could probably hear him muttering to himself as he's like jotting down poetry. Let's see. In fact, bracing your ears in the back of the party there says, you hear him say, life's modes swing through my unconsciousness. How about my inside? Oh, what a pretty mess. Until congenial rivalry fell prey to vanity and pride. And he's looking off in the distance.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yes, at least there's one other cultured individual with me.
A grunt from the wagon.
And he says, whilst off in the distance, my stomach is rumbling, and I think this is all very tiring. And he looks at Lorsh.
I say, well, we can milk Sheila later.
You'll have to show me how this is done again. I believe I've forgotten.
Sure. It's very fun. Maybe we can make cheese too.
Fresh cheese does sound nice. Yep, and you're making your way. So you're leaving this kind of riverside area, this town. The roads are, you got to go through. It's a little swampy, not bad, not quite like a complete marsh. But as you're going along, Fergus, I think, because you're out kind of ahead there, you notice kind of a little bit off the path there, you see these small sort of, I don't know, I say small, maybe about 8 to 9 feet tall huts. And there's a bunch of them. You see a smoldering fire, looks like it was put out, but you do not see any signs of life.
How far did you say they were off the trail?
Maybe about 50 yards.
Okay. I stopped my horse and I put my arm up, and I'm sure Lauren would know what that means, that maybe I've seen something that has caught my eyes. I put my hand up, and then I take my hand as a signal and point the direction to show it to Lauren also, since he's the closest to me.
So I will come down off my horse and kind of head towards the huts and see if I can see anything when I get closer.
Yeah, and you would see, again, you'd see this fire that's, kind of smoking. It's been put out. You look like you might see remnants of foodstuffs, maybe some bones here and there. Trash, basically. And also a few, like, little skulls in the fire itself. Let's see.
Skulls, are they like human skulls?
They are indeed human skulls.
Okay. How many huts are there?
Let's see. There are 7.
How high are the door on the huts?
About 8 feet, and it's about a 9-foot tall hut.
8-foot doors. Okay. What's the whole place smell like?
It smells swampy, so it just smells like kind of the area that you're in, just muddy and wet. And then the smoke rising from the fire. You get that kind of smoky, burning smell.
Okay. Barbecue smell.
Yeah, maybe a bit of some toasted meat, some overly cooked meat. But
Okay.
nothing too out of the ordinary, I think. No, like, yeah, pretty natural smells.
Okay. And are the huts in a circle?
No, they're kind of like in like a half circle, sort of crescent, but kind of they're not spaced very evenly. It's just kind of haphazardly, but it forms almost like a crescent.
Okay. And have I come into the behind the huts or to the front of the huts at the middle of the crescent?
From the road, you'd be heading towards kind of the backside, like the bottom left of the crescent. The crescent's kind of facing to your right, like away from you.
Okay. So can I approach the back of one of the huts and see if there are any windows or any additional doors, or it's just the one door?
No, you don't see any windows or anything. And they do look like they're more. As you get closer, you can tell that they're more like bigger tints because it's more like a cloth-like material rather than something solid.
Okay. Can I take my dagger and try and cut a peephole in the back of the tent?
Yeah, go for it. And we'll say nothing is alerted, but as you peer through your incision, you see sleeping a really tall, kind of humanoid figure. It's very muscular. It has two sets of arms, kind of a smaller set below the other ones. The top two arms, like the normal arms, are like under the pillow, very rough pillow. And its head is a frog, so it's basically a very large frog man. You see a couple swords lying next to him, as well as more little bones and things. Looks like he's been eating, but he is sleeping.
Okay. So I would like to retreat as quietly as possible and come back onto the road and tell the party what I have seen. And sorry, how many huts did you say there were?
About 7.
7. So I would explain that there's potentially as many as 7 of these tall frog-headed humanoids with 4 arms, and ask the party what they want to do.
Fergus pulls up his handkerchief out of his pocket as he's relaxed his crossbow now that you made it safely back, and he snorts into it and he puts it back up and says, "Well, it would seem we've caught them at the best point. They are resting and are not aware of our presence. However, though, don't take that the wrong way. I could definitely sneak up there and do some damage to them, but I'm not really at my best either right now, so I think we should proceed on," as he looks back towards Sammy.
Are those skulls? I don't know if we should let something that just has random skulls, be behind us.
I stare at you. What you mean? And I'm standing on a battle wagon full of random skulls.
And if we were not friends, I wouldn't want you behind me. If you know what I mean.
Ah, Sammy Wise.
You know what is delicious? Frog's legs.
Not sure.
But it seems like it would take quite a long time to cook just one of these from what Lauren has described, the size of them.
True.
But it'll be tasty.
Did they have treasure?
And they have swords and stuff, and if they've obviously wiped out some people, there's potentially that they've been raiding on the road. So I suspect that there probably is some treasure, but whether or not it's worth the risk.
Wasn't it one of these frog people that I took off his arm and then put another arm on? Remember, was that a frog person I did that to?
Probably.
Do you remember what I was talking? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Turned him to stone, then broke off the
stone
arms,
ones.
and then swapped the arms and turned.
No, I
him.
think that was a rat man.
Oh, it was a rat man. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all right. All right.
Were rats.
That's right. Okay, then
Yeah.
I
Isn't
don't
that
know.
guy still chained up somewhere? Or
No,
something?
I think we let him go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. He's probably killed himself by now.
What did you swap the arms? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, okay. Well, I mean, if you want to just pass by, I think we're just gonna have to be wary of our back end. If you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm fine with leaving them if you want. I mean, but if we are going to attack them, I suggest that we just light their tents ablaze.
Well, I could always get to my maximum good distance here, and I could shoot a bolt with a wrapping of oil and flame into it. If anyone else can get the rest of them, I could do that as we walk away.
I can certainly help that as well. I'm a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I'm too little to use a bow. But yeah, if you want to kill the black people, my
Well, they're definitely eating humans, so I feel that we should do something about it.
okay, because I know that Jeremy needs more practice. So
Jeremy says, "I would love to show my prowess in battle, please."
well, let's do it. Let's kill stuff.
Excellent. So yeah, so I'd like to start lighting a small fire, so that I can set my arrows on fire as I shoot them into the tents.
Yeah, it's perfect. All right. So, what are the rest of you doing? So, Lauren's about to shoot some flaming arrows.
Should we move maybe we should move the horses and the battle wagons like out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to use the battle wagon, Lorsh.
Why?
Okay.
I wanted to to turn one of the crossbows on the hut.
Okay, that's fine then. So I moved my cow back though.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a battle cow at this point.
There's plenty of brush and like dense trees and foliage and stuff. Being that it's pretty swampy, so yeah, you can definitely hide the cow.
I think Mendel will get inside the battle wagon for safety since he's probably not wearing armor or anything.
Yes.
And, I'm gonna sneak around to like flank the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get. I'll check my range, but I want to get. If they come running out, I might want to have to drop a slip spell on them. So I'm going to kind of get closer and do my hidey thing. Let me 90% hidey. Let me see. Yeah, 37.
Nice. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, so let's see. So Lauren, you can go ahead and fire off. I guess we'll say 2 arrows. So I suppose maybe 2 separate huts, or do you want to shoot 2 at one?
I'd like to shoot the 2 huts closest to us.
Okay, great. So yeah, you can do that, no problem. And as you do that, of course, you're not gonna hear or see anything immediately, but after a few moments, as the cloth begins to catch, pretty quickly, you'll start to hear like a very nasty kind of froggish yelping coming from the burning tents. And soon after this, you'll start seeing all these frogmen pouring out of the other huts, and there are in fact 7 of them. They're going to be looking around kind of in a panic. And before we roll initiative, I'll let everyone take another action as the frogmen are kind of panicking out of their tents.
So I would like to shoot one if that's possible.
Yep. Sounds good.
So that's a 25 for 7 points of damage.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's see.
Oh, nice.
And that will drop one of them. Let's see, 4, 5. You said 7 points? Yeah, perfect. All right, yeah, so one of them does, in fact, go down. And then the rest of them look in the direction that the arrow came from. So Anyone else want to take range shots?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think Tony's probably going to want to go shot.
Okay.
Yeah, Fergus, it seemed that Lauren has made good contact with these tents and set them on fire. He had prepared to do that with his bolts, but he's thinking, well, Lauren's much better with the arrows. That'll do much better. But he's still got them wrapped up as he pours some oil on these bolts, and he reaches down and sets the bolt on fire. And this fire that Lauren has started, and seeing one of these frog creatures look their way, he's going to try to hit one with a crossbow bolt that's on fire. 13 to hit.
Let's see. The 13 hits exactly. Yeah, they have an AC of 13. They're unarmored, so.
And it'll be 4 damage from the bolt, and any from, I don't know what fire does, if it does anything extra.
Yeah, we'll say we'll do an extra 1d4.
Okay.
It'll
be 2.
Okay, cool. And they're not wearing any clothing, really, so it won't catch on anything. But all right, cool. So that one does not go down, but he does look pretty messed up. Anyone else?
Lorsh?
Yeah, I want to release one of the crossbows. I turned all 3 of them into the right direction, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, not with a 3.
No.
Lorsh is too excited.
Okay, so Mendel is going to use his ventriloquism spell
Okay.
to make the skulls that are on the ground start to recite his poems.
Okay, very cool.
Okay.
So as let's see, so yeah, one of the skulls immediately will start spouting, Goga, oh dear Goga, what do you do? The deafening sound of screeching crows is the torturous instrument of pain. And it just keeps repeating that.
Nice. And Sammy will use her sling and try to take them from the shadows of the bushes.
Let's do it.
Let's see, 11 on the die. My sling is plus 6 to hit, so it's 17, so that hits.
Okay.
And it does a d4 plus 1. They're not regenerating, I'm assuming, so it doesn't do any extra damage.
Right.
It's 4 points of damage.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And this one's a bit runtier. I don't know if that's word. It's more of a runt. And it looks like it's not going to take much more.
Let's
pop this guy. I say a runt. He's still 7 feet tall, but he looks a bit sickly. All right, cool. So now we'll do a proper initiative roll. As these guys these creatures are all alerted and ready to engage.
initiative. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what about Lauren and Lorsh? What are you guys on?
4 for me.
4 for Lauren. Okay. What about Lorsh?
Rolling. Hold on. 11. 4.
4? Nice. Okay, cool. So the 8 will go first. Sammy.
Okay, so you hear Sammy say, you frothy, fat-kidneyed footlickers. As she slings again at the same one that she did the first time. Let's run.
Mm-hmm.
This time, not hitting with a 10. Jeremy's going to run forward with the pick. Can he attack this round or just get there?
He'll just get there because of
Right, he's going to run forward with the pick, screaming, "You picked the wrong person to mess with." Yeah, he was trying.
Very good. All right, cool. So it's the 8, and 6 or 5. Let's see, 6. Okay, so 6. Yeah, Fergus.
Yeah, it's seen the take aim and hit that one before and damaged it well. He lights another one of these bolts, this cloth on fire as he shoots at the same one he did before. Wow,
Okay.
13 again. 13
Nice.
to hit, and it'd be 2 regular damage and 3 fire, so 5 total.
Okay, yeah, it's 1 more than you needed. So tell me how you drop it.
Yeah, as this second bolt streaks off with a flame shooting back out of it, and this creature's probably maybe made eye contact with me by now and seen who is facing him. he just gets that startled look in his eyes as that bolt comes in, and the wind carries it up but just enough and moves it just enough to go straight through his throat as his throat just explodes into this flame.
Very nice. And then we go to the 5s, which is the it's going to be the enemies. So we have got 5 left. So we'll have the one that Jeremy was running to. We'll have that one attack him.
Okay.
Let's see. And this guy's holding still looks like just a long sword. Only one though. 17.
I'm sure that hits you.
Yeah. Just 1 damage though.
Okay, yeah, his AC, I got him chained, so his AC is 15.
Okay, great.
I'm assuming he's a fighter. I mean,
yeah, he's a fighter.
I just did him up to fighters.
Okay, cool.
All right, 1 point damage.
Okay. Yeah, just 1 point. So he is grazed by this sword. Let's see. Then we'll have the largest one begin rushing towards the party, but he's not going to get there this round. He's going to take one other person with him, another creature. We're going to have, let's see, one more go for Jeremy. This one has 2 daggers, whatever that's worth. Ooh, a 20 for the first hit, and a 9 for the other. The 20 will do 8 points. Oh, God.
Oh, no. Jeremy goes down.
Oh, well, the glisten in Jeremy's eyes is still there. Probably tears from the pain as he's. That's all of his hit points, yeah?
Yeah, he only had 7 hit points.
Okay, well.
So, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, Jeremy's run through with this dagger and drops. Okay, and then we have one more. Yeah, we'll have this other one start heading with the other 2 towards the party. So, okay, cool. So we'll go from there to the 4s, Lauren and Orsh, simultaneous.
I rolled another super roll with a 5.
Beautiful. That was with
Yeah.
the crossbow.
With the second crossbow.
Oh, man.
So I don't reload right now.
Okay, cool. Yep. So this one will take out probably a few tints because it's probably pretty big.
Oh yeah.
Large bolt,
Good.
yeah. So it takes
I want
out
to
a
nail the
few
tents onto the next tree.
Yeah, you do so without a problem.
Hmm.
If anything, you've pissed off the frogmen even more.
Good.
What about Lauren?
Sorry, so there's 3 of them moving towards us, is there? And then
Yeah.
2 at the back who just killed Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to shoot at the 2 who just killed Jeremy. So let me see how that goes. Ooh, that's a 16 for 7 points of damage and a 26 for 7 points of damage.
Oh yeah, this guy goes down. The one that killed Jeremy is completely destroyed. Tell me how that happens.
So I'm Lauren's very, very angry that poor Jeremy has met his end, and just quick as he can, he just shoots this arrow out. It just flies and hits this humanoid frog creature in the chest, just punches straight through its heart, and his heart comes out the back. And then as quick as he can, he shoots off the second arrow then at his buddy and also hits him. And again, right into the heart, hopefully doing enough damage to kill him too. So that Jeremy is avenged.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, and then we go back to the top, Sammy.
Okay, so at this point, the 2 that killed Jeremy are dead. So Sammy will then focus her fire on one of the ones that's running towards the battle wagon.
Mm-hmm. So there's 3 left.
Yeah. Okay, and the +6, so that just hits with a 13. And 5 points of damage, maximum damage.
Very nice. Now, which one of the 3? There's one that looks a bit larger, maybe about 8 feet tall, compared to the other 2 that are 7-ish.
Okay, because the runt is dead, right? So the runt one.
Correct. Yeah, the runt guy's down.
Yeah. So yeah, I go for the big one. Why not?
Okay, great. And you said it was how many points?
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. He slows down his run a bit, but still moving. As we go to the 6, Fergus.
Yeah, I'm just going to concentrate as I light up another bolt. And those, you said there's 3 of them running towards the wagon and us, right?
Correct. Yeah, and Sammy just pelted one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot at the one, the totally opposite side of the one that Sammy just hit. So either right or left, whatever. And that is going to be a terrible miss with 2 on the dice. So this time the bolt screws on by and lands in some brush or something.
Okay. Okay, so now it's their turn. We'll have the quite large one head towards. He's going to try to engage you, Sammy, because of the pelting. And we're going to have, let's see, the next one go to Fergus. We'll say the one that you shot at. And then the last one will go to, that one's going to go for Lindell. Okay. Excellent. So let's see. Do the first one with Sammy. 12 to hit.
16 is my armor class, or 18 versus creatures larger than man. So that was
okay. Yeah. Great. So quite to miss. The one on Fergus rolls a 1. Excellent. And the last one on Mendel rolls a 19. God damn.
That definitely hits.
And 4 points of damage.
Okay.
This one's on Mendel.
These.
Mendel, Fergus.
I don't know how many hit points he has.
Let's see. Cool. Oh yeah, how many? Did you roll that, or did I roll that?
No, no. So he's an 8th level magic user, right? So that's D4 for magic users.
Yes, I think so. Let me triple check. Pretty sure it's a D4. This system.
I mean, he definitely has more than 4 hit points.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's 8th level, but
absolutely, yeah, should be fine. Magic user. Yeah, D4.
D4. All right, let me roll that now.
So 8D4. Cool. Alrighty. So from there, Lauren and Lorsch.
I would like to move to attack the one who's attacking the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to stick my sword in him.
Go for it. Let's see.
And I get a 14.
Yep, that'll hit.
For 10 points of damage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he had 8 hit points. So tell me how you destroy this one.
So basically, as he's just celebrating, having struck the wizard, he just feels this thump in his back, and he's kind of looking around to see what's happening, and he notices the tip of my sword coming out from the front of his chest, and then he just collapses.
Very good. And what about Lorsch?
I rolled an 11 with my 3rd crossbow. That's probably shit.
Yeah, that's too short to hit one of them.
Damn it. This
time...
character is broken, honestly.
Oh, man, I don't know what's going on. But this time we'll say you managed to take out maybe some birds and squirrels that are in the trees nearby.
I don't need your pity.
As we go back to the top, it's Sammy as Lorsch's crossbow bolt
propels
to the forest at crazy speed.
This big guy's on me. I'm gonna so it's too close for me to use my sling, so I pull up my magical short sword and stab at him.
Yep.
With 18 totals. That should hit, I guess.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
And a 6 on the die, +1, so 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, he's almost down. He's looking pretty bloodied up.
Take that, frogman. You ill-nurtured lout.
It gives you like a really nasty kind of high-pitched frog sound, croaking or whatever. As we go to Fergus.
Yeah, Fergus was hoping that the one that's rushed up to him, he was hoping that he could have had another crossbow bolt loaded. But seeing that he didn't have time and this thing swung and missed badly at him, he's actually got this bolt in his hand and he's wrapped it around and set it on fire. And I'm just going to take this bolt and try to stab him like I would with a dagger.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, that's good. 23 to hit?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it will be 3 fire damage and 3 on the other, so 6 total.
Nice. So let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he's not quite down, but he's close as well. He's not looking too good. You can kind of smell his nasty burning frog flesh as well. And now it's going to be their turn. So we'll just do the one on Sammy. We'll go first. Slicing at you with its sword. 13, so that'll miss. And then we got the one on Fergus. A 13 as well. I believe that misses.
Missed by 1. Yeah, he needs a 14.
Very good. All right, so back to Lauren and Lorsh at the bottom.
I started reloading my crossbows. So that's 1 crossbow per round, probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Damn.
Very good. Lauren.
So which one? The larger guy is attacking Sammy, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to.
Trying to. So I would like to just kind of come up behind him and try and attack him.
Yep.
So that is a 23 for 5 points of damage.
Oh, nice. Let's see. And he has 3 hit points left. So tell me how you fell this foot.
So basically, I just come up behind him and I swing my sword and I just chop his frog head right off. And it flies across and ends up in the fire in the middle of the crescent.
Nice. Yeah, this hand goes flying quite far and lands, yeah, let's say right in the middle of the fire and begins cooking. All right, so back to the top. Sammy, there's only one left, and it's the one engaged with Fergus.
Okay, so I drop my sword back down, and I still have my sling like dangling from my wrist, so I load it up and shoot a sling stone at this last frog dude with a total of 20 to hit and 4 points of damage.
Ooh, nice. Very, very close. Looks like he's on his last frog leg. As it goes to Fergus.
Yeah, I see this sling bullet come and hit this thing and knock him sideways as he comes towards me. And as he's coming towards me to almost fall into me, I reached and grabbed a dagger off my belt as I take this dagger straight up towards him. And I'm going to miss horribly with a 4 on die.
Yeah, not quite enough. Maybe the sling bullet pushed him a little bit out of your way as he reacted. And him being the last one that's left, let me check his morale. And he's going to keep fighting. So he's going to go again for you, Fergus. One more time. The 15.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. And then just 3 points of damage, though, as he stabs at you. It's not too bad. Okay. So that was a 5. So the 4s. So yeah, Lauren and Lorsh. And Lorsh, yeah, one of your bolts is loaded now.
Release it.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, 19.
Oh, yes.
Holy shit.
Tell me how you decimate him, because he only has 1 hit point left, so.
Oh, good. So my 3 isn't. Okay. I like to nail him onto the tree where I nailed the 10s already.
Oh, very nice, yeah. So. Yeah, great precision. You nail him to the tree. Oh, yeah, and you'll hear him kind of croaking and groaning as he's gasping for air. Probably punctured his lungs there, and yeah, he's going to die in a couple seconds. So, very good. So y'all are out of combat, and there's quite some destruction around you. If you smell probably some burning frog flesh. Might smell kind of good. Yeah.
Sammy's gonna head over to Jeremy the Great. And mourn his passing with the knock knock joke.
Very good. Yeah, Mendel's gonna walk up and take off his cap, and he's gonna say, "I cannot but question the right of what have done I, ground up human toes blended with potted ham. I cannot but question the right of what have done I, and drown me in your finest jam."
You hear from behind as a crossbow is turned a little bit.
Mandela has very bad hearing, so he's oblivious.
Sammy bows her head and says, "Amen, brother."
Yeah. He would have been a fine warrior. As fine of a warrior as I am a poet, perhaps.
Yes. He was a fine friend and warrior. We should have a huge funeral pyre for him.
As this is going on, Fergus is going to shoulder his crossbow and take off running towards the tents or huts that are not burning with his dagger in his hand to peer in them.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll find a various assortment of just mundane weaponry, swords, daggers, some spears, actually quite a few spears. Then you'll find human bones. You'll find some human clothing and such, various odds and ends. Nothing magical or nice, but perhaps whatever was left to some of their more recent victims. Little satchels and things. Maybe some coin.
How big are the spears? I mean, are they like for human size use or for larger?
They look like they're kind of custom made wooden spears, a bit larger. But you could probably wield one with two hands, I would say.
Well, he's laughing to himself and he's thinking, maybe that Lorsch could hit something with these for bolts on their large crossbows.
Yeah, and they would probably make fine crossbow bolts, I would imagine, because they're pretty tall.
Who wants my crossbow bolt?
The spears.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think Fergus was gonna perhaps collect these large spears so that you could use them, Lorsch, as crossbow bolts.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have, I think, 56 left now, but it doesn't hurt.
Perhaps these will be sentimental. Sentimental value. But yeah, besides that, Fergus, you'll find 8 gold pieces throughout the huts, like just total. Nothing nice though.
I take the 8 gold as I go towards Sammy, and she's getting up from the body of her newfound friend, and I hand her 2 of them, and I go, "Should we take his body and have it properly buried?"
I think we can bury it in flame.
I can do that for you. Maybe these gold pieces you can deliver back to his family then. And I'll give you 2 more.
Yeah, I'll put them on his eyes, as is custom. But I want to build like a funeral pyre with some of the stuff that's here and set them up. I don't want to carry a dead body around with us. So I don't know how long it'll take, but that's my plan.
Okay, yeah, you can.
Okay, well, Lauren will help you with that.
Yeah. Because they've got these huts and stuff, so we can probably take the wood from the huts and just use that. We don't have to cut down trees, probably. And yeah, we want to make a funeral for him, and I'll put the gold pieces on his eyes and leave, bury him with like the new armor and stuff that I got for him.
Yeah, y'all can do that. Definitely, probably take a couple hours to get it all said and done. We'll say in no time this happens. You'll have the funeral pyre nice and ready. So if anyone wants to, say some parting words before it's lit. I don't know who's lighting it, but yeah, tell me how that plays out. How describe this funeral.
Yeah, so we collect up the wood from these tents or whatever they were. So it's pretty simple and fairly quick to build. And we gather around some of the loose branches and dried stuff, so it's easier to light up. And we get the whole thing ready. We lay Jeremy the Great's body on it with his chainmail armor and sword that I bought for him. And then I take his heavy pick, the giant cleaver, and rest it on his chest. We stand back, and Samuel will say, "You fought against the goatish, gut-gripping harpies and fell, but now some men will live longer for your sacrifice." And then I look towards the lawn to maybe shoot the arrow into the fire or whatever.
So Laura will just shoot an arrow into the funeral pyre. As the fire starts to rage.
Yeah, very good, and it's probably quite a beautiful and tremendous amount of fire, and it's a really nice funeral for Jeremy the Great. Mindel will raise his hands up, kind of towards the sky, and he'll pull his head back and stare up, and I can't. It's a really bad poem.
Please, as if you would care.
Sorry, I'm losing it. He said he'll say, "Get up, afraid, and tripped on various dogs. A feeling that somewhere there's something I've missed, and through the thick fog, getting the most of life that is least." And you can see him start to cry a bit. Some of these tears going down his old wrinkled face.
Your figures with the last 4 remaining gold pieces he gave 4 to Sammy. Well, he looks at the 4 in his hand and he drops 2 in his belt pouch. And then he takes and he gives 1 to Lorsch and 1 to Lauren and says, "They didn't have much."
Another grunt.
And as you're all here doing this, taking part in this procession, everyone roll, I guess, let's say a d6 and tell me what you get.
A 1.
3.
3.
All right, so Fergus, you'd be the only one to hear it, but you hear what sounds like a kind of a large procession of horses galloping your way, coming from not from off the road, but from the opposite direction, just kind of through like the woods there.
But it definitely sounds like a very large cavalcade of horses, though, huh? More than just 1 or 2.
Yeah, and you'll definitely be the first to hear it. Probably pretty sharp ears.
He's gonna probably he's closest to Lauren, probably off and on most of the time, since Lauren shares some of the same abilities that he does, and he makes the hand motion towards Lauren and points towards you. Hears the noise, and then he makes the motion of horse pattering, and he's going to actually try to move and hide somewhere if there's some brush to hide in or something.
Yeah, there's plenty of brush for sure. And with no time. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say you're going to shout for Sammy to hide himself or herself. I was going to suggest that Laura should do the same, but then I remembered that she won't like that. So, but I'll just stand out when you open with an arrow notched to see who's coming.
Okay. Samuel will jump into the woods and hide.
Yeah, Mindel will be right there with you. And
I'm stumbling behind them.
Okay, great. Yeah, and y'all can hide, no problem. And as you're all getting to your spots, you'll see a procession, or not really a procession, but you'll see a group of about 20 or so men, headed by what looks like a very stout halfling, and they're all wearing plate armor. There's a guy carrying a banner. It looks like the flag of a local baron, and they kind of circle around the tents there, and the halfling will hop off with a couple guards next to him, and you can hear them mumbling, and they're like pointing at the funeral pyre, and they're pointing at the dead frogmen and such, and you'll see some hand motions from the halfling up in front, and he'll signal to a few guards to start kind of panning the area, and they're all looking around.
So before he does that, I'll just step out and say, "Can I help you?"
And they look surprised, but he'll kind of shout, and he'll say, "Hello, we saw the smoke rising and decided to come out here with my patrol and check on it. Who are you? What's your business in these swamps?"
we're just passing through, and as we were doing so, we were attacked by these creatures, the like of which we'd never seen before. And after we taught them the foolishness of their ways, we buried our comrade in fire, and we are now about to pass on our way.
Well, you're speaking in, talking as if you're with a group, but I only see you. Are there more of you, boy?
Oh, and so Lauren will just he'll spit on the ground, and he will look at this halfling and he will say, "Be about your business, halfling."
What was that? Couldn't hear you from down here.
I said, "Be about your business."
Yes, well, our business is more important than your business because you are in my baron's land.
Sammy steps out of the woods and she says, "But there's no business like show business."
I knew it.
And then she does a couple somersault tumbles into the middle and bows.
Oh yeah, and you'll see this halfling stroke his long mustache, and he has this really wry smile kind of across his face, and he looks at Sammy up and down a few times and says, "Ah, I am quite pleased now. What is your business?"
We are a wandering minstrel show, or a budding minstrel show at that. With only one tavern to my name, I will soon have taverns all over the land. I am Sammy. And I bow.
And when you say your name, his smile kind of fades quickly, and he looks to his guards to the left and right, and he says, "Ah, yes, we've heard of Sammy. Sammy and the company. You were out looking for a master dwarf, were you not?"
I feel like all dwarves are masters of something.
And he kind of gives you almost an evil laugh, and he says, "Oh yes, well, a stoneworker, a mason."
Have you ever met a dwarf's tailor?
I've met my baron will say has met those who have met plenty of master tailors of the dwarven kind, of course.
Yeah, I always thought dwarves were more of tunnel diggers, but I met these tailors. They were actually pretty good.
How were their
Not
socks?
very good at tunnel digging, but very good at creating clothing.
Yes. That is quite strange, but I was told to keep actually an eye out for your group. Yes, word passes quite quickly when you're up to perhaps no good.
You're up to no good?
You're up to no good. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and the guards begin to try to surround Sammy and Lauren.
Oh. I look at him for a second, and then I look at the guards, and then I snap my fingers, and I cast sleep.
Oh no. Let's see.
On the guards.
Yeah, very good. Let's see what I gotta look up the sleep.
I don't know how that works. I think they get a save. I don't know. Let's see how sleep works on this bad boy.
I'm trying to see what level they're affected.
Yeah. Put several creatures 3 or fewer hit dice into a magical slumber. So 4 or more are not affected. So if they're 3 or fewer, I think they get a save in this one. But anyone within 30 feet of me that's 3 or fewer gets a save, and then they go under.
So of the dozen individuals surrounding you, including the halfling and his 2 personal guards, none of them seem to be fazed by your snapping.
Oh.
If anything, he looks unimpressed. At which point, the guards are going to begin drawing their weapons and pointing them at you. And he'll say, "Now, I think we don't need to do anything foolish, but I do believe that my baron would like to speak with you."
Oh. Well, I enjoy speaking with barons.
Is it only you two? And he points to Lauren and Sammy.
Well, our friend here has met his maker, unfortunately, so yes.
Well, you're going to have to come with us then. Gather your things and let's go.
Can we not just meet you there?
I was told not to take any risks if I come across you. So I would like to personally escort you if you catch my drift.
But we don't like to be seen with the Baron's guards. Could we not just meet you there?
I do not trust
We're
you.
very trustworthy. I don't know why you wouldn't believe us.
You're not trustworthy at all, boy. You're trying to fool me to get out of here. Can't pull.
Don't call me boy, short ass.
You can see that he's getting an enjoyment, getting a rise out of you. And he'll say, "What was that? Sorry, still can't hear you down here."
Gonna look at him and say, you realize, of course, that we enjoy seeing barons, but this is not the most polite way to ask.
Well, this is about as polite as I can get, given the circumstances and the sensitive nature of my baron's request.
Oh, it's sensitive. Interesting. Okay, let me get my cow.
Which Baron do you represent, dare I ask, short ass?
The Baron Rizian. Let me type that. He's the greatest halfling baron of these swamps, and you're going to respect him in his request.
Is he only halfling of this swamp?
And the halfling looks around, probably not noticing that Lorsch was around. So, what was this voice? Where was this? Who is this?
Me Lorsch,
Ah,
spiritual leader of Orc clan Ulush.
and you can see him tense up quite a bit as he his eyes pull upon you, Lorsch. Probably not too used to discussing things with orcs.
Why halfling stare?
Ah,
The halfling is rude.
what was it? What was that, boy?
We're hoping his
Well-
Baron is not as rude.
Considering Lorsch is half naked.
Yeah, halfling enjoyed.
Does he say that?
Yes, he'll say that out loud.
What? Oh my god. I grab my maul a little bit harder.
He'll say, "Forgive me. I'm not used to seeing your kind, or your kind dressed as you are dressed now. Forgive my poor manners." Was that all of you? The three of you there?
Is he apologizing to all of us or just to Lorsch?
Just the horse,
Okay.
not the
And
one.
here-
Well, you
and
should
here
know
the
that
name-
I'm not going anywhere till I get my apology.
What was that? Sorry. You're not making much sense to me.
Okay. So I'm just going to sit down and wait for my apology.
He's gonna walk up to you and stick his little face into yours, Lauren, and say, "You want an apology from me, boy?"
Yes, I do, bitch.
How many of them are there?
12, including the halfling.
Okay.
He'll say,
Too many for this game, really, but he's wound me up something fierce.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm gonna get my cow.
Yeah, and what are Mendel and Fergus? I guess Mendel would probably have showed himself. Now, has Fergus shown himself?
No, he has not. I was going to say Fergus, at hearing the name of the Baron Rissian, he pulls out this embroidered handkerchief again. He looks at it, and you would get up close and see an embroidered R on it, which maybe would indicate that it come from this Baron. And he folds it back into his pocket as he slinks deeper in the shadows and stays hid.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and you can definitely say hidden. They have no idea that you're there.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I
shadow.
think Stonebeard is hiding inside the wagon, so he's not going to come out unless you want him to.
Right, no, I don't think he's shown himself yet, especially
Yeah.
after hearing that
Yeah, they're after him.
someone's asking for him, yeah.
And have the guards seen the wagon? Have they?
I don't think so, not yet, unless yeah, no, because that's kind of off back on the road. I don't think they've walked there yet. You guys are still at the little camp where the funeral parlor is and stuff, so
Okay.
so the wagon's a bit away.
Okay, so then Lauren will pick himself up and dust himself down and get on his horse and kind of draw the halfling and the guard's attention away from Fergus and the dwarf, and kind of indicate an urgency to leave to see this Rizian character.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what are the rest of you doing?
So I'm going to get the cow.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. I think when I'm going to get on the cow and kind of ride up, and I'm going to say, "Shall we be off, my good man?"
Well, yes. We don't want to keep the Baron waiting too much longer, now do we?
I don't know. Do you?
I'd prefer not to. He gets angry.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Angry half.
Angrier than you?
And he kind of looks around as if he heard something, but he ignores it.
Are all the soldiers halflings as well?
No, they're human.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But the Baron is halfling.
The Baron does seem to be a halfling, yes.
So I'm gonna kind of like while the main guard here is being distracted by Lauren, I'm gonna go to one of the guards,
Mhm.
With my cow, and I'm gonna be like, I just be wary that this cow is still being trained, so you may want to take the lead, or it might start to walk away randomly.
And he'll nod and say, I
If
understand.
he comes closer to me, I'm going to use my ring of human control.
Mhm.
And if he's less than 6 hit dice, it can work on him. So I'm going to cast charm on him.
Oh no, it'll work. He's 5 hit dice, so
Yeah. So he's charmed. So I'm gonna tell him, you know what would be great? Apples. And there's a apple grove down the road there. Could you go get some apples?
and he'll drop or he'll sheathe his sword rather, and he'll say, apples sound amazing right now. I'm gonna go get some apples.
Yes, good idea.
He's gonna start walking off, just in whatever direction you point him.
Yeah, I'm towards the apples.
And the halfling was gonna shout at him and say, "You, guard, what are you doing? Do not leave your post."
At that, I'm going to kick the cow to make it kind of like start to take off, and I'm going to be like, the cow's out of control, and I'm going to try to like take off on the cow.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that, no problem. And the
This
halfling.
is my ultimate plan, so you can tell me how far I get on this. I'm going to try to ride the cow off in the direction away from everybody, and then jump off of it and try to hide in the woods.
Okay.
my
Yeah.
plan.
Let's see.
How far I get is that's what I'm doing, whether I get seen or not.
Let me see. For the hell of it. Yeah. Okay. So you know what? I'll say that you can take the lead there before the halfling and the guards can react. He'll start shouting, perhaps to a couple of the guards to like start chasing you down. But yeah, I'll say you can hop off into some bushes, and the cow will keep going.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to use my halfling hide. Well, I have the elven boots, so I'm quiet and halfling hiding skill. So I'm going to go hide in the woods.
Okay, yeah, that should be no problem. And you're hidden, and you'll hear the guards shouting, "We've lost the little one. I mean the one like you. I mean the halfling." And you'll hear the halfling mumbling some curses, and he'll look to I suppose Lorsch and Lauren there, and he'll say, "Where's your friend? We don't have time for these kind of games."
I not have scrying eye active.
Ah, so you have a scrying eye.
Maybe.
And he looks quite entranced.
Spiritual leader have many powers. You better careful.
Ah, yes. We not want to aggravate your spiritual powers. What of you, boy?
Yes.
Where's the halfling? Find the halfling. And he looks to Lauren.
I was like, should we not be going to see our Baron now?
I
And
mean,
I'll start moving off towards where I believe the Baron is.
stop! We can't leave without all of you. If that halfling's gonna,
I
fine.
started walking in the other direction.
He throws his hands up, and he just kind of lets out a little scream, and he'll say, "This is not how this was supposed to go. The Baron is going to be very angry at me. Please, I do not want to resort to violence."
You
How many,
can't.
Maybe you should have been more pleasant.
I was as pleasant as I could be, boy. This is a very sensitive matter. My job and possibly my life are on the line.
He called boy again.
And at this point, there's still 2 guards, we'll say, chasing after the cow. We'll say, out of the 12, we'll say 2 are chasing the cow. And we got maybe 1 more heading towards Lorsch. And then the other 9 are just kind of surrounding,
With the apple.
Oh, and then we got the one with the apple. Yep, so that's another one. Okay, so we still have 7 plus the halfling just kind of hanging around in the center there. And he's looking quite flustered, the halfling. You can tell he's probably not very good at his job.
Are any of them, have they moved away from the kind of the area where I'm hiding at, or is there any of them that's close enough that if I move, they're going to hear me?
No, I think you're still good as far as like trying to remain hidden and silent.
What I want to do then is that group of 7 or 6 or 7 are still around in the main group. I'm going to light up another crossbow bolt and set it on fire. And what I want to do is shoot this bolt somewhere behind them and hope that I hit enough to maybe start a little brush fire to garner some of their attention away also.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll say you can do that without them seeing it just because you're so well hidden. And the halfling is going to freak out. He's gonna say, "Where is this from? Is this from that halfling jester woman? What is this? Put it out!" And you can see the guards starting to scramble, and a couple of them are gonna start trying to put out the fire, but it is starting to catch.
So in the
it's like autumn-ish.
In the like opposite corner, like if they were like kind of in a circular area, in like the opposite corner of where they're running to right now, I use my ventriloquism and I make cow sounds.
Oh wow. All right, so at this point, we're going to say, get the halfling. We're going to say 3 of them are trying to put out the fire near the halfling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still have, we'll say, 5 of them. We got 5 left, so we'll say the other 5 are going to start running off towards the sound of ventriloquism. So we got 5 here. Yeah, and that should account for all of them. It's becoming chaotic very quickly. Very chaotic, very quickly. The halfling.
So I would like to grab the reins of the halfling's horse and say, "Follow me and let's go," and start leading him away.
And he looks incredibly flustered, and his hands are just kind of up in the air, and he's making fists with it, little fists, and he's just gonna follow. He doesn't know what to do. I'll say.
Okay. So after a little while, I would like to just stop and say, why don't you tell us what this is about and if we can be of service? Otherwise, I'm afraid we have business elsewhere.
Yeah, and his face, he's pouting big time. And we'll say the halfling with 3 guards are with you, Lauren, kind of, away from that camp. And he'll say, "Listen, my Baron said that I needed to find the people, the group, that was going to get the Master Dwarf Mason, because there's supposedly a great treasure that's being hidden. That's all I know. I'm just trying to do my job." And you can see that he wants to say boy, but he doesn't.
Okay. So is your Baron seeking this treasure?
Knowing the Baron, probably. Why am I telling you this? My tongue is going to be removed.
And I would like to whisper to him that we can offer him employment, very, very valuable employment, if he would like to leave the Baron service.
And he kind of tugs at his mustache a bit. And he's still pouting, and he'll say, I have an even better counteroffer. Sir, I say we kill the Baron, take his castle, give it to me, and you're free to travel my lands.
Lore starts laughing.
And he'll laugh nervously as well. Like his eyes, his face basically are in a frown, but he's laughing.
And I will just say we are no assassins. But he should leave now before.
These swamps, anyways. Leave the swamps. Where am I gonna go with? My employment is my life. If I don't kill the Baron, he's gonna kill me. Oh, I messed up.
And I would just say you should have been more polite.
Well, you should have been more polite. Fine. And he'll say, I suppose I should leave with my life while I have it. You have yourself a deal. I won't return to the Baron, and I won't give you up. But I really recommend you don't come back this way. And I really do think that the Baron's not going to let this go so easily.
Okay. And then I will say that
when he wants riches, he takes them. How do you think a halfling became Baron of this swamp?
and I will just explain that today, so far, 7 frogmen, short arse on a horse, plus 11 guards, have all decided that they wanted something from us and have all found out that they couldn't get what they wanted, and they're all moving on, and your Baron will be no different.
And you can see that really has an effect on the small little captain. And he'll say, fair enough. And he'll snap his fingers and turn around. And he's going to go start shouting to try to collect his guards who have all been kind of scattered and broken up a bit. Now, what are the rest of you doing? It's going to take him a few minutes to get the guards under control, but he looks like he's not going to be a threat from here on out.
So I think we should wait for 15 or 20 minutes till they have cleared out, and then we should all come together to decide whether we're going to do something about this Baron or whether we're going to move on and never return to this part of the world.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I think Sammy would have, after making the cow noises, she would have moved around, kind of circled the area and headed back towards the battle wagon to make sure the dwarf was okay. So when she sees everybody leave, and let's say when she finally sees Lauren emerge 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later into the clearing, she'd meet him there. Okay. So I will explain to the party about the conversation we had with Captain Stout Halfling, and that this Baron is showing a undue amount of interest in Sammy's business, and that the captain has indicated that this interest won't stop with our destruction of the captain and his band of merry men, and then see if we want to do something about this robber baron. I think we do, but I think we should leave this area and prepare a plan versus going there right this second while we're not ready.
Okay, that works for me. So will we haul ass?
Yeah, that's what I think, unless somebody else wants to do something different.
Yeah, and where are Lorsch and Fiergus right now? We'll say the halfling has taken his guards and left. It's been about 20 some odd minutes.
Yeah, Fergus would have definitely stayed hid until he knew that it was safe to come out. And after he comes out and hears the story of all the conversation that transpired, he holds both hands up and he says, "Gentlemen, I've seen quite a few people with riches fight over things, and there's such a thing as called a scale of balance." And he starts balancing both hands up and down. it would seem to me that both of these, no offense, Sammy, but both of these arrogant halflings, you have one that is already a baron, and you have one that wants to assassinate the other to be the baron. It would seem they're both for nothing but trouble to me. How can we take the word of this little captain of the guard who wants to aspire to be something he never will be by maybe his royal blood, of course, but who knows now? The baron now may have assassinated someone to get to where he is, but this is not something, a task that he starts shaking both of his hands back and forth. The scale is completely out of balance on this. We need to continue on, as you have mentioned, Sammy. This is not something we need to involve ourselves in right now.
Right, not now, but eventually I'd rather be the one seeking him than he seeking me.
That is wise, but until we see where the scale should balance on which way, yes, let's continue on.
Yep. Lorsh.
Lorsh is probably right now fixing the battle wagons crossbows, and as usual, she's doing what Sammy does, and not being able to chase after the cow immediately makes her a little bit annoyed. She's a little bit upset.
Yeah, but I have a good idea, Lorsh. After inspired by Lauren, we should put a brazier on the battle wagon, always with hot coals, and we can do fire crossbow bolts from the wagon.
Oh, her eyes light up.
Yeah. All right, and then I guess we're off. We're gonna make haste.
Yeah, because it's probably taken up most of the afternoon dealing with all this. So your next stop, you will be able to reach the next town. Let me see, pull up the name. Yeah, the next town on the way. It's like I said, it's like about 2.5 days. Let's see. Yeah, so it's called Hamwise. It's a little village. You'll be able to make that probably by nightfall if you keep going at the pace you're at, which isn't too fast.
Do we know if this is in the same barony?
It is in the same barony.
Okay. So perhaps we don't want. Maybe we should camp like on the outskirts, as opposed to going into the town, at least with the full crew, anyways.
Yeah, and we should maybe not call ourselves Mrs. Underhill, rather than Sammy, so that we don't draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
But when we are camping outside, Lauren would like to sneak into town, see if you can pick up any rumors or any information on this Baron Rizian, and any information at all that might be readily available in the tavern.
Okay, yeah, so let's see what we can do. We can split it. We'll have 2 scenes going. We'll have the one at the camp outside town and one with Lauren heading in to a tavern.
Yeah, and also Marcus, Fergus wants to go into town too, but he's not going to the tavern. I don't know how big a town this is, but he's going to try to look around and see if he sees any thieves' cant written on anything. He's going to try to find maybe a local thief that he can talk to.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, so the town is... It's a decent size. It's a decent sized village. Population maybe about 150. It's not terribly big, but not tiny either. Okay, so we'll start, let's say, with the camp. So Lorsh and Sammy are with the dwarf, I suppose, and Mindel at the camp, yeah?
Yep.
So what's y'all's plan? I guess just take it easy for the evening, or you're all going to keep watch, I suppose?
Yeah, I think we'll set up a bit of fortification around the put the battle wagon up, and then we'll make sure the crossbows are pointed in the various directions. I guess that's what Lorsh would do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to actually position myself until they return. I'm going to position myself out in a tree somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. We'll say it's like twilight. The sun's just going down. So if you want to get going with that, you can, no problem. I think the Mason dwarf is going to stay inside the wagon. He's feeling pretty lazy.
Yeah, and I suppose too we would also take the idea and take some like rags or whatever that we have to wrap around the giant crossbow bolts and prepare them for fire.
Yeah, big time. Very good. Okay, so we'll go, I guess, next to Lauren. So Lauren, you're heading to a tavern, yeah. So we're going to go to the Silver Tip Inn, is what it's called. It's just the village tavern, and it looks pretty packed. It looks like a bunch of working people, kind of filling it in at the end of the day to go drink and eat. And they all kind of look at you when you walk in, but they don't give you more than a second glance, really. They probably get a decent amount of travelers because it's a village on the road, basically. So what do you want to do? You want to just kind of look around and start chatting around or something, or?
Yes, I kind of, I didn't really want to draw too much attention to myself. I didn't want to be asking too many pointed questions. I really just wanted to kind of sit down and kind of see if I could overhear anyone talking about the Baron. Maybe have a little conversation with the barman around what's going on in town and stuff like that, but not really, nothing too blatantly obvious. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can go maybe grab a drink. And the barmaid, let's see, she was kind of a mature dwarf, female dwarf, bit rough in appearance. She's pretty even-tempered, so she's and she's also very truthful by nature, apparently. So she will, if you kind of chat her up a bit, she'll mention, living in the barony is not bad. It can be a bit rough. The guards and the Baron's men can be a bit rough at times, but they keep things in order typically and keep the frogmen out. Yeah, and she doesn't seem to have much to say as far as like knowing any particular rumors of the Baron at the moment. But you could hang around and perhaps chat with other people as the night goes on.
Yeah, okay, I'll stay for one more anyway.
Okay, cool. And we'll shift quickly to Fergus. So what was your plan again?
He basically wants to see if he can see any thieves camped around the village and try to locate one of the local thieves that he can gather some intelligence on the Baron and this captain of the guard about how the people feel about this Baron and what they know about this captain of the guard and any intelligence on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you can come across we'll say it looks like a bookshop called the Thinking Wizard. But you would notice perhaps like the signal, that it's actually probably doubles as a thieves hideout. And you can go in and start talking to the owner. And after you make it known that you're a fellow thief, he'll lead you behind the secret bookshelf that opens up back into a back room, and he'll say, "So, good Fergus, what brings you to our humble town?"
Well, we were mainly passing through, me and my group, who are camped on the outskirts of town, but we had a little encounter with the, evidently your Baron's captain of the guard, a little halfling with this mustache that is almost as big as he is, and it was come across as quite unsettling in a manner. It seems that he has some ill will towards the Baron, which I understand is a halfling also, but could you what do you feel about the two? What do you feel about your current Baron and the one who seems to want to unseat him and take his place? It's not happy with being a captain.
Ah, yes. The Captain Fredley, as he's known. Yeah, he's not a very good fellow. He comes into the tavern here in town and he'll get drunk and spout off against his Baron, his Lord Rizian. Yeah, I don't trust him. But the rumors, there's rumors abound that he does want to take over the barony. Rizian can be a bit harsh, but one thing we thieves in this town like about Rizian is that he has quite a treasure hoard, and he's always looking for more. Always rumors about that. He's always scoping the lands and talking to his spies in the different cities in the region, trying to find the next big job, I suppose. Not much different than you and I, if you really think about it. He just got lucky. Has a castle now.
True. Some of us have the golden spoon already in our mouth, and some of us find it and lick it good, but others, like you and I, we take the scraps, don't we?
Yeah, we take what we can get. I'll drink to that. He'll pull out a little flask and take a swig and offer it to you.
Yeah, Fergus would take a quick swig, and those 2 gold coins that he picked up off the frogman, he'll lay them and say, "This should be a little donation to the local guild here to maybe help with some of the ones you were teaching to do our craft."
Oh, yes, it's much appreciated, friend. I want you to know that anytime you're in the area, you can always count on us if you need anything.
Yeah, and basically after a conversation of that, Fergus will find this little tavern and go in, and he doesn't pay any attention to look to see if Lauren is there. He walks straight up to the bar and throws a couple of silver down and just something quick and fast. I don't have much time, and he drinks the drink down real fast. And as he does, he turns and he makes quick eye contact with Lauren, to show Lauren that he's finished with his gathering as he heads back out the door and maybe goes to a prearranged location to meet Lauren.
Okay, cool. And
Lauren will just, after about 15 minutes, just kind of follow Fergus out of the tavern.
Okay, great. And
I head back towards the camp.
Head towards the camp. Okay, awesome. So as you guys are heading to the camp, we're going to cut to the camp, and we'll cut to Sammy up in the tree. And Sammy, you would see, kind of in the distance, but heading towards the town, down from one of the roads into town, you'll see, kind of coming from a hillside, basically. Looks like a group of riders on horseback. And, you see like the torches. There's 5. You'll see 5 or so torches, and they're heading really quickly towards the town. Probably in the direction that the supposed Baron's castle is. I think you would know that just from chatting with the halfling earlier and such, kind of the general direction and location of the Baron's keep.
Okay, so they're heading from that location towards the town that the Dark Party members are in?
Yes, very quickly.
Okay, faster than I can go. So, all right, I'm just gonna keep an eye. Like, I'll stay hidden, and then when they go past, I'll start to staying far enough back, I'll start to follow. But before I go, I'm going to I'll use my ventriloquism to talk, to make one of the skulls on the battle wagon talk. to Lorsh. And I'll be like, "Lorsh, it looks like the Baron's men are heading towards town. We may want to follow." And then
Lorsh, agree.
Yeah, so I'll climb down the tree and we can, we'll stay back a bit, but we'll watch the torches.
Okay, very good. And I want to take a quick 5-minute break before we get into the next chapter.
All right.
Okay, sweet.
It's good.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry. Take some stuff out the oven.
Sorry.
Yep, I'm here.
So I'm a very safe person. I leave things in the oven when I'm not around. Is Micah back? Take that as a no.
Or sleep.
Sorry.
I know, it's all good. Okay, so let's see, where were we? We were, the writer's heading to the town. Sammy did ventriloquism, told Lorsch. And the thief and the ranger are heading back from the town. Very cool. Okay, so we can say, we'll cut to the next scene. We'll say that Lauren and Fergus, perhaps you run into Sammy. Sammy, you're heading to follow the riders, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. With Lorsch?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so we'll say that y'all meet. So start from there.
Cool. So the riders obviously didn't cross them.
No, they were coming from kind of a separate road.
Oh, a different road, but still heading towards the town. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just see them because you were up in the tree. You can kind of see them like
Gotcha.
around the village.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so then when we see them, I say, some of the Baron's riders are heading to the village. I saw their torches in the night.
Now, it would appear then that we have left at the right time. Let's hope that it's not the captain. I found out some information on him, and let's put it this way: it would be best that he be the one to suffer from the assassin's blade.
Oh. Well, perhaps we'll get another chance.
So should we just hide for the night and see what tomorrow brings, or do we want to try and leave the village in the dark?
Well, I think if were we able to find a place that's pretty well hidden, Marcus? Or are we just kind of on the side of the road?
No, we'll say you're pretty well hidden, definitely.
Yeah, I think
you
if
had
we're well
enough time.
hidden, I think if we're well hidden, we should stay where we are because they're going to be patrolling the roads probably. Although I am a little nervous that they may commit violence in the town, and I don't want my name associated with that because that's not going to be good for any future tavern building. So maybe we just want to keep an eye on the town. Like the town doesn't look like it's on fire or anything, right? We're not seeing smoke building.
Not yet.
Okay, good. Not yet. See, that's good. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like just to try and hide our tracks as we head back towards the camp in case they follow us out the way we came.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely competent enough, I think, as a ranger to be able to do that. No problem.
Nice.
Okay, so y'all just want to kind of hang tight at the camp for now, or?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, if I can get back up in a tree and try to like watch for torches, I want to see if I can eventually see them leave, and if so, where they're coming from or going to.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. What are the rest of you doing? Sammy will hop up in the tree, I suppose.
I'm going to basically share the information I found out without revealing my source, of course, but reveal the information I've found out that the captain is probably the most susceptible at being a evil person. It would appear that the Baron has a love of rich things, but that's quite like us. We have a love of riches and stuff. So from what I have found out, the Baron is not the bad one here. In other words, the scale has definitely tipped that the captain should meet his demise more than the Baron. As I share that information with the rest of them.
Well, ultimately, they both have to meet their demise because the Baron, for better or worse, has stuck his nose in our business. But I do agree that Captain Fredley should not be left to take over the barony.
Very good. And we'll say an hour passes, and Sammy, you don't notice anything peculiar coming from the town. At least during this first hour. At this point, it's completely dark. We'll say it's about, I don't know, 9 p.m. or so in the evening. And yeah, it's getting a bit colder, especially being up in that tree. But you're probably comfortable for now, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm there for an hour and I don't see the torches leave again or the town on fire, I'll probably climb down and check in on everybody else.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay up there all night for sure. It'd be good to know what they're doing, but I suppose we might be recognized.
But Fergus is a pretty good thief.
Yeah. That is true.
And I could go and hide closer to town, but still in the trees, so that I could give him some moral support.
Hey, Marcus, just to be clear, because it cut out for me for just a moment, but you did say that it appears the Baron's men are still in the town. They haven't left.
Correct. Yeah, Sammy, at least within this past hour of watching, hasn't seen the torches leave, the riders leave.
Okay. Well, you know, it's a good thing they did not see me earlier, so they have no idea who I am. But Lauren, you should stay here. I will be fine. Trust me. I have help already in the village if I need it. So yeah, Fergus would, if he could go back to town, if it's not, you know, long distance to go back to town, he would try to sneak back in town to see what's going on.
No, you're pretty close. I mean, y'all are in some pretty dense like brush. Nice, you know, dense little bit of wood outside the village, but you can get there no problem within, you know, 10-15 minutes by foot.
Yep, he'll do break the number one rule, split the party.
Yeah.
He's going by himself.
Excellent. Okay, so Fergus, you're entering the village, and you know, it's quiet. It's about as quiet as it was an hour before. You know, you can still see the tavern on probably off there down the main road. You know, the lights coming from it and such. And but we'll say as you get closer, perhaps just kind of creeping through the village, you would hear what sounds like shouting going on in the inn there. Sounds like a ruckus. Aside from that, most things seem pretty normal. But as you approach, if you do approach the tavern, there you do notice that 2 of the Baron's guards are outside the door, holding torches.
Standing outside the door of the tavern? No, I'm not. If I see that, I'm going to sneak down an alleyway. And you said I hear another ruckus, though, coming from on further down, maybe?
Yeah, it was coming from inside the tavern there.
Oh, from inside the tavern. Yeah. I'm going to sneak to the back of the tavern. Is there any guards placed at the back of it?
No, in fact, there is not. It looks like there's probably a door to the kitchen or something.
Yeah, I want to maybe try to listen to that door for just a moment. If I don't hear any, you know, excess noise, I'm going to go in the back door.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear anything, no movement or talking behind this door, but you could hear mumbled shouting, perhaps, or muffled shouting, rather, probably coming from the common room there. You can't make it out.
I'll try to sneak in if that's if I know that's a kitchen or employee entrance or whatever. I would try to sneak in at least to that part of it and try to see if I can listen into the common room from there.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty confident that's the kitchen. You're probably pretty good at, like, you know, spotting things whenever you walk into a building, you know, kind of checking it out quickly. So earlier you probably knew that that's like where the kitchen is and all this. So yeah, you can hop right in, and you're in fact in a kitchen, pretty modest one. Lots of cups piled up, probably needing to be cleaned and such. But you'll see a few, you know, casks of wine and ale and such. Cold food left out, you know, pots of soup and all this. But But yeah, definitely down, the little hallway and into the common room, you do in fact hear shouting, and you recognize the loudest voice being the captain, the halfling from earlier.
Can I make out what they're saying at all, or?
Yeah, you would hear him talking about how the Baron's throat is going to be slit in no time, and he doesn't care who hears it. It's going to be his town soon. Things of that nature.
Can I peek in and see how many of his men are with him? Can I get a general?
Yeah, you can peek. You could probably do that without alerting anyone. And it's this guy and just 2 guards with him, and then the 2 outside, probably watching the front door. And you can tell most of the townspeople in there that are drinking don't look too comfortable. The barmaid's probably sweating a bit behind the counter there, and you'd be a bit behind her, I suppose, in the shadows. But yeah, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like, he's kind of talking about tonight's the night it's happening and all this and blah, blah, blah. He seems pretty drunk, too.
Okay. What I want to do is sneak back out the back door, and I want to go around to the front door to where the 2 guards are. But I've redone my appearance. I've put some stuff on my face to make me look a little bit older, a little bit more rugged than I am. And I've pulled this cloak up, and I've kind of put a couple of rips in it. And I want to approach the 2 guards that are standing out front.
Okay, very good. And we're going to do a quick scene break and go to the party back at the camp as Fergus is approaching the guards. So what are you all doing at the camp?
I guess we're all kind of looking down at the town, trying to work out what's going on, and ultimately trying to ascertain whether or not Fergus is going to need our support, while at the same time looking out for any other riders or trouble or anything that could throw a spanner in the works for us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll say because you're actively looking, you would see after a few moments, probably, we'll say 20 minutes after Fergus left, probably about the time that he's about to enter the tavern. Of course, you don't know that, but you would hear, if not see, what sounds like a lot of riders heading from the Baron's Keep area down the road. I think you'd be able to hear them just because it's a pretty large group of horses, and they're in full gallop towards the town.
And are they following the same the same path that the previous riders went down?
They are indeed.
Okay. And can we judge by the torches how many there might be?
Yeah, if we figure, maybe Lauren hops up in the tree or something, you would be able to see probably about a little over a dozen, plus or minus. It's hard to tell.
Okay, so okay. So I would say to the party that it seems like something is going to happen in the town or village, and that maybe we should be there on hand to see what's going on and see if there's anything we can do to be of assistance.
Sammy looks up from milking the cow. She says, okay, that sounds like a plan. Let me put on my battle jester hat. And then she puts on her hat. And she's ready to go.
Do we take battle wagon?
Oh, that's a good question. It's not going to be particularly stealthy.
What do you mean?
I think we should leave the dwarf in the battle wagon.
Yeah.
Hidden here.
The dwarf wizard, I guess.
I don't know.
Actually, he might be useful.
What if someone steals wagon?
It's true.
And I just no one is going to dare steal your wagon, Lorsh. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean?
I mean, no one is going to be able to find your wagon. I've hidden it so well.
Ah. Okay. Lorish positions herself behind Sammy.
Okay. I think we'll take Mendel too, if he's willing to go.
Oh, Mendel's absolutely willing.
What's that?
I said Mendel's definitely willing. He was in the midst of writing a serenade to his lost love.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, because we may need some of his magics.
Yeah, he is pretty strong. I mean, yeah, he's a level 8 magic user. So
Yeah, he's got some stuff.
He's very powerful.
Yeah, he's pretty
despite
good.
his meager looks.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say that you all are about to head out, gathering your stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to shoot really quick back to Fergus. So Fergus, you're approaching the guards. How do you want to do that? So far, they don't... No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what I want to do is I want to approach them from not the way that I come into town and the way the rest of the party is. I'm going to approach them like I come from the opposite side of town, and I'm walking towards them with a limp, like I'm limping along as I approach them. And when I see them, I go, oh, thank goodness. Some men with arms, bandits. There's bandits on the road. They've attacked me, and I pull my hood back, and they see some of this black stuff I've put on there. It appears that I have a black eye where someone has punched me in the face. Bandits, you need to go quickly. They're just outside of town there, please. They attacked the poor farmer. I'm just a poor farmer, and took my goods and stuff. And I'm trying to lure those two out of town.
Okay. Well, it looks like one of them seems to believe you, and you can see that he's probably a more lawful disposition of a guard, whereas his buddy will kind of like place his hand over his chest as his friend starts to move forward and say, no, this beggar's drunk. Look at him. Looks like a mess. What are you looking for? A free drink or something?
I walk up closer to him and I pull the hood completely back and I go, does this appear to come from a drunk man? And I show him my black eye.
And he'll say, step back, you smell terrible. But yes, I suppose that is something. And he'll kind of like take his hand off of his buddy's chest and he'll say, you, go check it out. I gotta protect the captain. I can't leave this post. And his friend will nod hastily and he'll say, where are the bandits coming from? Perhaps I can set off an alarm.
Oh, you don't need to set off an alarm. You need to go find them. They're just outside of town, and I point back the totally opposite way of where I come from.
He'll say, fine, I'll at least go check the perimeter of the village, but try not to get yourself hurt. And he'll start jogging off slowly because he's in pretty heavy armor. But
what is the other guy wearing? Is he wearing plate armor too?
Yeah. And you'll notice the Baron's crest on it. So it's definitely
after the one guy leaves town, I'm going to possibly have something in my hand, like a rock or something. As I throw it down the alley next to the tavern, I'm going to go, "What did you hear that, guard? They're around here now, please!" And I grab his arm to put him in front of me for us to go down to the alley. And if he does go in the alley, I want to sneak attack him.
Okay, let's see. Yep. We'll say that he absolutely is going to... He'll go down the alley. He'll say, oh, you're so drunk, but whatever. I can't risk anyone getting to the captain. So you can go ahead and make a sneak attack.
I want to sneak attack him and try to slice his throat with my dagger.
Very nice.
Let's see. Oh, wow. It's 13 plus 8, so 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
And I actually rolled a 4 on the D4, so double that would be 8 then, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and you're going to do... Just for, like, for story's sake, I'll say you kill him. I didn't roll his hit points yet, but I'll say that's just really cool. So you can go ahead and describe how you assassinate him.
Yeah, I just, knowing that I've got him right where I want him, not knowing at first, though, with his first reaction to me, but knowing that his mind is on protecting his Baron, I just take this dagger and just slice it across his throat and whisper in his ear, your captain's next. And that's the last words he hears.
Oh, yeah, and he'll gargle blood, probably trying to respond, but yeah, he'll collapse, fall to his knees first, and then forward.
Yeah, and I'll drag him, off in the dark somewhere if there's like a little shed or somewhere I can drag him off in.
It's a very dark alleyway, so you can stick him sticking back there somewhere.
What does he have for weapons?
Yeah, just a
sword?
long sword. Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, I won't take it. I won't take it. If he had a dagger or something, I would take it. But no, I'll leave the sword.
Okay, very cool.
And then what I would like to do next, real quick, and before we jump back to the others, is I would like to try if there's a building across from the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
My idea, because I don't know what's going on out with the other camp, of course. So my idea is I want to try to scurry up a wall and get on top of the roof. And my whole plan is when the captain comes out from the tavern drunk, I'm going to take a crossbow shot at him with sneak attack.
Okay, yeah, you can. We'll say that there's probably absolutely some shops across the town square there that you can go maybe hop on some crates and get onto the roof there. You know, set up a nice spot to overlook the entrance.
Yep, and that will be me for now.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we'll shoot over back to the Sammy and company. So, what are you all doing? Heading into town, I suppose, or?
Yep.
Yeah, we're kind of following. Kind of following the guards, or trying to see what the guards are doing without drawing attention to ourselves or the extra guards that are coming.
So what I'd like to do, and you know, talking Mendel says, if we can get to them before they get to town and they're clustered together, I could possibly drop a spell on them to thin their ranks, if that's what we're doing. So, or do you want to wait till they get to town and see what they're actually up to? Pretty bad to me.
Yeah, I was thinking that. But I don't feel that strongly either way. But
so yeah, I mean, if you guys are okay with that, that's what I think I would like him to do. He has his ice storm spell that has a 20-foot radius, so that's a pretty big area. And if we could somehow get to, I don't know, because they're moving fast, so we might not be able to get them before they get to town. But if we could like position ourselves so that we see them coming, then we can maybe drop it on a whole bunch of them from a hidden position. We won't even know what hit them. But
yeah, and just for description's sake, like the village is small enough to where you could definitely circumnavigate it in a very small amount of time if you do want to try to set up like an ambush. Because the riders were, you know, they were a decent ways off. You could just see the torches because it's so dark, you know.
Yeah, what I would like to do is set it up so that we can ambush them as they're coming in. Exactly. This ice storm, it only lasts one round and it pounds them with ice, and then you can pick them off with a few more off with your bow, the ones that are still up. You know, I mean, we're risking against attacking innocent people, but at the same time, it doesn't seem that way. So, I think that's what we should do. If you guys,
yeah, it works for me.
All right, yeah. So that's what we want to do. I think that's the more effective thing than the lightning bolt.
Okay.
The lightning bolt does more damage, but I don't think you have to line people up to do that. So.
Right, ice storm's like what, a 20-foot radius or something?
It's a 20-foot radius, yeah. So that's pretty decent. Probably drop it on a whole bunch of them as they're kind of, you know, if they're riding tightly together, hopefully.
Oh yeah, well, 5 to 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, no problem. So you guys can head around, and as you get to that other side of the village, there, you would see, in fact, these riders. You would hear them too at this point. They're probably, I don't know, 300 feet away at this point. By the time you make it to the village.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so he's gonna wait till they're within the like bow range. So I guess we'll be looking at Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And when Lauren gives like the nod that they're close enough that you can hit him with the bow, then Mendel will drop the spell.
Okay.
Or maybe a little bit closer, so I can also get him with the sling.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Actually, what's the range on a bow?
What is it?
300 or something.
Okay, good. Yes, actually.
Or maybe it's not. Yeah, it's fun because when it's outdoors, it changes the. I'm sorry, I'm out of here.
The range you won't be penalized for, because I'm just thinking the sling that have to be pretty close, so I won't wait for you to get with the.
The longbow's 210 feet.
Oh, perfect.
So that's I don't know what the other.
So when they're like,
so here's a longbow I have. So
Perfect. So when they're like 200 feet away, because the spell goes pretty far. It's 300 foot plus 30 foot per level or something. So he can cast actually pretty far away. But I think I'm going to have him cast it when they're about 200 feet away. And at the first, like rank of people, so that it goes back 40 feet into the group. So that way, if it doesn't hit everybody, it will definitely hit some of the first people, hoping that they'll collide into each other and stuff in the mess that is an ice storm.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
That's the plan, anyways. So let's see. Every creature has to make a save versus spells to reduce damage by half. So anything that's inside the circle would have it.
Okay, so everybody has to make a save. Okay, sweet. So before that happens, we'll say as you're approaching and you're all setting up, it'll probably be about the same time that this other guard was being sent out by Fierce to go check for bandits. He's not going to see you all, but you will see him, kind of like jogging out of the village a bit, and he'll stop and he'll see the horses coming. And then you'll hear him mutter some like curses to himself, and he seems like he's almost in panic. And he's going to turn around and bolt back towards wherever he was in the town. And I don't, you wouldn't know that he was, at the tavern. With the
yeah, we don't know anything about that. But I do see a guard, and if he gets close to me, I probably would attack him. Sammy, not Mendel.
Okay. Yeah. So
I think that's our plan. So if we're hidden enough that we can actually within 60 feet of me, then I'm going to try to sling him.
Yeah, so we'll say as he's panicking and turning around, probably to go, warn his other friends or whatever of this approaching group. Yeah, you can go ahead and make an attack on him.
All right, then that's what I'm going to do.
Can Lauren shoot him as well?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a 17.
Oh yeah, that hits on the dot.
Perfect. For 4 points.
So Lauren has scared a bird in one of the roofs of the buildings nearby with his natural one.
If you're just over in town, you'll hear the clink of something hitting a tile roof not too far from you. But
it hits him on the roof and he falls dead.
But so that happens. How many points was it to the guard? Sorry.
4 points.
4 points. Okay, great. So we have that there. Okay, so yeah, he gets pelted and he's going to stop and kind of look around, but he's not going to know where you are. But we'll roll initiative, I suppose, for your group versus this one guard for right now, because other riders are still approaching.
Okay.
Let's see. Whoever's engaging in the combat, just throw your
6 for me for this guy.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, Mendel's not going to engage him because he's waiting for the exact moment to drop the ice storm, so he's not.
Perfect. Won't be long. So 2 for Lauren. Okay, what about Lorsch?
Good question. Did Sammy give Lorsch some
Not for the ambush, because you don't use missile weapons, right?
Well, yeah, well, not without my battle wagon.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So
I think you're probably just getting ready to just slam these guys in the ambush when we can.
Okay. I'm getting ready with my maul.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and this guy's within probably 30 feet of you all. So.
Oh, so you could chase him down if you want. So actually, if he's that close to us, then actually I would say to Lorsch, kill this one. Lorsch, please.
I break out of the ranks.
Very good. What was your initiative, Lorsch? Sorry.
Shit. Was I muted when I said it? Shit.
I think so.
I think 3.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll put you on a 3 or 4. Doesn't matter because that's kind of the same spot. We'll say 3. Let's see. So we'll start at the top then with Sammy. Okay. Mendel is, of course, aiming at the getting ready to cast, but it'll be a few rounds. So.
Yeah, he's hanging back. So she's going to do the same thing with the sling again, this time with a 20-something. And, yeah, but only 2 points that time.
Okay, yeah. It's hurting him, but, he's more annoyed than anything right now.
Imagine.
And it's going to be his turn. And I guess as well as the riders, but the riders, well, actually, they're going to be different. They're not in combat yet. But so he's on a 5. I think now he's going to probably see where you all are, and he's going to draw his weapon, and he's going to look down the road, and then shake his head and just rush towards you all. Probably go for, let me see. So there's 3 of you. 4, I guess, with Mendel. Let's see. He's going to go for Lauren. So he'll be able to get within range. He's about 30 feet away. So a 10 will miss. But he is right up there with all of you now.
Excellent.
As it goes to Lorsch.
Smash! Ooh, an 18,
Oh, yeah.
but only 3 damage.
Okay. It hurts.
I hope so.
As it goes to Lauren at the bottom.
So that's a 16 to hit.
Nah, you need a 17.
Okay. That was 8 points of damage as well for Agent.
Oh, man. It may or may not have dropped. They wanted to drop him. Well, maybe it would have. Who knows? I don't know. But so back to the top, we'll say Sammy.
Okay, I'm actually going to, knowing that time is of the essence, and he's in my face now, I'm going to reach down between my tiny halfling cleavage and remove and I'm going to say, don't look, guys. And I'm going to pull up my Medusa amulet and show it to him.
Oh,
So just
perfect.
make a save versus turn to stone. Or turn to stone.
Let me see. Oop. Oh, no, he fails. He rolled a 3.
Cool. He turns.
Excellent. So, yeah, as you're all engaged with him, he has his sword drawn and raised, and, yeah, he just immediately turns to stone, probably trying to stare at the cleavage of the halfling below him.
Yeah, I put it back in my cleavage and I say, okay, guys, you can look now. You know you want. My tiny halfling cleavage. And I turn. Then we probably realize, oh, this horse is coming. Turn.
Very good. And, yeah, so the horses now are within bow range, I'll say. It's been a few seconds. So,
okay.
They're going pretty fast, too.
All right, so as soon as they're close enough for the spell, that's the first thing we're going to drop. Because if we shoot them with the bow, they might stop.
Okay. And I'll put them, I rolled their initiative, I'll put them on a 1. So we'll just keep the same initiative. They'll be at the bottom.
All right, well, will Mendel go with me or should I roll separately for him?
Oh, you can go with you. That's fine.
Okay, so then he goes first then. So he'll drop the spell on them.
Okay, great. So they got to make a save.
However many are there within a 40-foot diameter or 30-foot radius, 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. All right, cool. So let me mute because they're rolling. So there are 12 of them. For this worth. And they are within a 20-foot radius, definitely.
Nice.
They're in a tight cluster.
5d6. So that's 5. 6, so that's no, hold on, I can't be right. I'm just re-rolling because I did my math bad. 17 points if they fail, or I guess half that if they succeed.
So 9 of the 12 failed.
Cool.
Jesus. 17 points. Right.
Damage by half. So they'll take 8, I guess, if they pass, or 17 if they fail.
Okay, so 17, 8. Okay, so out of the 9 that failed, let's see. 5 of them drop dead as they're pelted with hail. Okay, so the rest just look pretty messed up. At least one took full damage. They all look pretty confused, though, as a sudden ice storm appears. Okay, so we'll go from Sammy and we'll go from Mendel to Sammy. Sammy, if you want to do something.
Yeah, so then they're too far away for me to hit him with my thing. So for my move, I'm actually going to tackle Mendel into the bushes.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, stay down. That's my plan.
Okay. Yeah, you can do so.
I don't know if they have bows or not. I don't want them to take him out.
No, of course. He's a frail old man, so he goes down pretty easily, despite your size, Sammy.
Yeah.
So next we have Lorsch.
How far away is the next one?
At this point, probably about 100 feet away.
What?
Yeah. This is all happening within like seconds. So they were riding quickly. They got into bow range. That's about where they are.
How far can I throw my hammer?
Oh,
Probably not that far.
I know. I want to say just do it, but yeah, I mean.
Where's Sammy?
Bush, you're gonna throw me? If it'll go that far, you can throw me.
No.
I'll say you have the same range as a hand axe, which is a warhammer. The farthest you could throw it is 30 feet.
Wow, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look dumbfounded.
Okay. Well, they'll be within range by next round. So, let's see. So Lauren.
Okay. So I would like to shoot at the two that are closest to me. So let me see how that goes. That's a 24 to hit for 10 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
And a 22 to hit for 8 points of damage.
Oh, wow. So we'll say both of these were the ones who sustained quite some damage. They both drop. So you guys are down to just 5 riders. Let's see. 3 of which you aren't too wounded. But 2 who are. Okay, nice. All right. So on the bottom, they are all now just charging still towards the village because I don't think that they've necessarily seen you because it's dark. But they are well within melee range, I'll say. They'll notice you after this round, though, as we go to the top. Mendel and Sammy.
Okay, so Mendel's going to stay down.
Okay.
Hopefully hidden in the bushes because it's dark.
Yeah.
And not going to be an easy target, hopefully. And Sammy's going to, from her position in the bushes, use her sling. She probably doesn't have time to get back to the road.
Okay.
12 plus 6 is 18, so that hits.
Cool.
And damage is 5.
Let's see. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, I just targeted whichever one was closest I can. Probably in the dark, tell which one to.
Okay. Cool. Just gotta mark it down. All right. Nice. All right. So same with Sammy and Mendel. So Lorsch. Now you're within striking range.
Striking or throwing?
Either or.
Okay. So it makes sense to keep them all, so let's smash the first one. 12?
The 12 will miss.
Oh, fuck.
They're plate armored. So Lauren.
So is there any of them not in melee combat with any of us?
No, they're all still pretty clustered, if not a bit more scattered than they were earlier, but they're all within like probably 30 feet. If not 10 feet. I'll say between 10 and 20 feet is kind of the range that they're at.
Okay.
And Lorsch is engaged with one.
She's engaged with one. Can I shoot at someone that she's not engaged with?
Yes.
Okay, so I will try and do that. And that's a 24 for 8 points of damage.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you'll drop in another one. So I'm pretty wounded. Alrighty. Okay, cool. So there's 4 left. And this guy's with stone. Okay, cool. They're on the bottom. Okay, so the one that Lorsch is engaged with will try to strike Lorsch back with his sword. Rolls a 15. I don't think that hits. Does it?
It does.
Oh.
No, it doesn't. Hold on.
Ooh.
16. I can't read my writing.
Nice. So it just barely misses.
It's actually an 18?
Oh,
Fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely misses then from his horseback. So we've got the other 2. Let's see. One's going to go for Lauren with an 18.
18's a miss.
Okay. The last one. Go for Lauren as well. Aha, take that. 4. God damn it. Okay, so now Lauren, you got 2 on you. Lorsh does 1. Ah, there's still 1 left. Let me roll for this one. Okay, this one's going for Sammy.
Oh.
A 7.
7's not him.
All right, back to the top, Sammy.
Okay, so this guy is shooting past me. He's up on a horse, right?
Yeah.
And it's dark, so I probably can't show him my necklace. I guess I'll use the sling because I think that I can probably roll away and use the sling, right? Because he's pretty far away from me if I'm a halfling. I doubt I can reach him.
Yeah,
if I'm,
sounds fine.
I don't think I can reach him with this. Oh, but I miss terribly. So yeah, I tried to sling at him, but I guess dodging out of the way was more.
Yeah.
And Mendel's gonna, continue to crawl into the bushes to stay out of combat, so that nobody will see him.
Okay, he's doing an excellent job. And we'll go to Lorch.
I want to hit him now. Want to smash face in. 18.
Oh yeah,
That sounds better, right?
sounds much better.
And 12 damage.
Oh god, tell me how you smash this guy to death.
Yeah, like I said, smash face in.
Oh yeah, his plate helm will be completely smashed
Dented
into
in.
his face. Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
just
perfect.
crushing into his face.
Hold on. Did I destroy the skull again? Shit. Oh,
Yeah.
Lorsh not learn.
Yeah, you crush his skull from his face in. However, there are other dead guys you could probably take a skull from. Lauren.
Okay, so are these horses stationary, or did the horses go past me when they missed their shots?
They would have probably kept riding past you a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so then if it's possible, I'd like to shoot at the 2 of them who tried to attack me.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, that's a 14, which is a miss, and a 27 for 7 points of damage.
Okay, so me kill this guy.
So just after he takes a swing at me, and he rides away and stops to turn around and come back. Just as he turns around, this arrow fucking flies out, catches him in the throat, and he just falls off his horse.
Yeah, very good.
That is him gone.
Okay, so there's just 2 left at this point. As we go to the bottom, we'll have that one on Sammy. Try one more attack. Where am I? There we go. Miss with a 10. We're gonna have that other one turn around, Lauren, and rush back towards you. The 16.
No, that's a miss.
All right, great. Okay, so back to the top, Sammy. There's only 2 left. Yeah.
So this guy's swinging down at me, and again, I'm going to roll to the side and try to sling up at him. I'm quite sure I can't reach him with my sword. I just missed there with a 17. 17 misses, right? So you need 18?
Oh, no, you need a 17.
Oh, okay. No, I hit with 17 then.
Okay,
So Slingstone bounces off his face for only 2 points of damage.
Okay. It's not going to drop, but you hit him. And we'll go to Lorsh. Now there's just one on Sammy and one kind of riding around Lauren, swiping at him.
Yeah, in that case, I have to rid Sammy of potential danger. Nat 20.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Oh hell yeah. 14 damage. Oh, hold on. That's max damage, right? Or just auto hit.
Yeah, I think it's just an auto hit for that.
Oh shit. In that case, it's only 8.
No, that still kills him. Tell me how you smash this one.
So she just smashed the other face, and she turns around, sees that Sammy is in trouble, and she swings the maul in one big arc, and even with them all, decapitates the other one.
Oh yes, very
Like
good.
a train hitting his head, you know?
Oh yeah, beautiful. The skull is intact. The head is gone.
Hell yeah.
Okay, very cool. So from there, it's
I mean, with the natural 20, possibly that head flies off and hits the other one.
Why not? Why not? And it's this guy's turn, and he's so dazed by getting hit by the head of his companion and probably one of his closest friends. He's not gonna do anything, but he's actually gonna. His morale is completely fucked, so he's gonna try to like right away. I think. It's just such a shit show for him. This is all happening so quickly. Yeah, so we'll go back to the top. This last guard is gonna try to ride off. If anyone wants to,
I'll
so
try and
everyone
shoot
can
him
take
before
it.
he
Yeah,
does.
everybody
That's
can take
okay.
it. Yeah, go for it.
I want to throw my hammer.
Okay, great.
That's
Oh.
24 for 11 points of damage.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so the arrows will pierce him. We'll say his Lorch is also getting ready to toss the hammer. But, Lauren, tell me how you fell this guy as he's riding off. He's turning to go.
So just as he's running off, he gets shot in the back, and it just manages to pierce under his arm, and kind of goes in up into his kind of shoulder blade, and just he falls off the horse. And as he's falling off the horse, he bangs his head, and that's what finally does him.
Brutal. Yeah, and the horse just kind of rides off into the night. And we'll say this guy's foot gets caught on the stirrup, and his body's dragged off into the darkness, into one of the fields there. Okay, so you're out of combat, and there's quite a bloodbath in front of you. I mean, there's 11 dead guards and one stone one. But we're going to quickly shoot over to Fergus. Fergus, you would hear this ruckus probably not long after the rogue arrow nearly hit you there.
Okay.
Not that you probably would have seen the arrow, but, whatever. You would start to hear the shouting and such, and the sword fighting and all this. Let's see. From inside the tavern, you will see one of the two guards from earlier. He's going to stick his head out, and he'll hear the fighting. And we'll say by the time the battle's kind of wrapping up, a few minutes later, the captain and his two guards are going to be exiting the building. So I'll say that's where you are, Fergus. You see the captain stepping out with his two guards. All their swords are drawn. They look kind of confused and kind of nervous.
What is the captain? Is he wearing plate armor too?
Yeah.
Do they have? Can I tell if they're going towards horse? Yeah, they did come in. Never mind. I answered my own question. They were on horseback. So
correct.
If he starts to mount his horse, I'm going to take a shot at him. If he starts to captain.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, come on, dice! Don't fail me now. Don't put a Marcus on me. 15 plus 8, so yeah, 20 something, 23.
Very good, very good.
And I only rolled a 3 on the damage, so 3 times 2 would be 6.
Okay, great.
As the bolt goes flying into the captain.
Oh yeah, it pegs him right in the shoulder. Really nice shot. Definitely hurts him. It's not going to drop him, but he has no idea where it came from.
Yeah, if he stays there confused, if they don't see me, I'm going to continue to shoot at him until they try to figure out. Maybe if he tries to flee, or I'm going to shoot him until I can't anymore. Let's put it that way.
We'll say you have 2 more free shots.
All right.
Before they'll notice you. Or you've been running off, either way.
Still get sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
Probably going to miss over 14.
Yes, you need a 17.
Oh, next one's better. 17 on the dice, so it will actually do 5 points of damage.
Okay, nice. So yeah, definitely bloodying him up. So at this point...
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. I rolled a 5, so double would be 10.
Oh,
I'm mistaken that one. So yeah, it'd be 10 then, actually.
Yeah, you're filling him up with holes there as he's getting shot. Quite intensely. Yeah, and at this point, we'll say one of the guards will kind of point and shout to where they see you, maybe your silhouette on a roof.
Okay.
But they don't look like they have missile weapons on them. So they're going to start riding out, heading towards probably where the noise came from, back towards, the road that leads out towards the Baron's Keep. That's where they are going to start riding out. And I'll give you one more free shot if you want before they're like
one
around
more,
the
one more shot at the captain, then I'm going to scurry down, and even though I'm on foot, I'm going to take after pursuit on him.
Cool.
Hot dog, 6 on damage and 16 plus 8, so I know that hits. So
Oh yeah.
12. That'll be 12 damage
Oh.
this time.
Okay, tell me how you killed the halfling captain.
Yes.
He had 11 hit points left.
Yeah, as he is riding out of town, I'm sure he's letting his little guards lead the way, even though he's been injured and all that. As he's at the back, and I had this crossbow as I'm going in, and he's starting to get in the shadows of the dark, and all I can see is really his horse and the flanks of his horse, and I adjust my crossbow up enough, and I think to myself, okay, his size was about like Sammy, so yeah, this should be just right. As I pull the crossbow, and I see the bolt go, and I probably don't even see it strike him, but I see something tumble off the horse onto the ground, and the horse continue on, and I go, oh, at least I won't have to run after him.
Nice.
Very nice, yeah. And with that, the 2 guards that were with him, they're just going to keep riding, it looks like, and they're going to be shouting, just mad curses, like freaking out, saying, you'll hear things basically that they need to get back to the rest of the troops. So
yeah, little do they know what they're fixing to ride into.
Yeah, so I was about to say, and like switching back scenes, the rest of you will see these 2 guards coming up from the town square, heading out to the village, right where you are. And as they ride up, they bring their horses back almost to a stop as they see this bloodbath in front of them, just this absolute disaster of a fight. They see all their dead friends and such. How do you all react?
Can I shout out at them that sorry, what am I trying to say? That it would probably be best if they didn't go back to the barony today, and suggest that they turn around and ride in the opposite direction.
They're not even going to hesitate. They're going to, as they rear their horses back and you're shouting that, they're not even going to come to a complete stop, and they're going to turn around and head back through town. And Fergus, just moments later, you're going to see these 2 guards, shoot right past you.
Yeah, and Fergus is still staying on the roof, knowing that he got his main target, and hearing the horses return back his way, not knowing why or what's going on. He just stays slinked in the shadows. He doesn't shoot at them if they run on right on past.
Yeah, and they're going to be heading out the opposite direction, away from the barony. They're going to ride out into the darkness. Yeah, you won't see them again.
Okay. Should we head out to the Baron's castle now that 20 odd of his guards are dead, or should we use this opportunity to escape?
That's a good question.
Orcs, not escape.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think what we should do, in a good orcish fashion, is we should take some of these dead bodies and put them back on their horses, and then we'll bring them to the Baron. And when we get close, we'll light the bodies on fire and ride the horses into the gates.
That's quite morbid, but okay.
I've been hanging out with Lorsch for a long time.
Lorsch smiles proudly, putting one hand on her shoulder.
Okay, so let's do that then. Should we get him? Well, no. No, let's do that shit.
We should probably get the... okay, so we can start to assemble that, but we should get the battle wagon, right? And
Yes.
also, well, I guess we need to... We don't know where the captain is.
Or Fergus either.
Correct.
Yeah, Fergus, that's what I'm saying. So we should probably
Yeah,
figure out...
outside town.
Yeah, so we don't actually know that there's nobody else. So we should, I guess, at least one of us should head back into town. And
Yeah, so why don't if you want to head back into the battle wagon, myself and Lorsch can just kind of loiter here and see if Fergus comes to us.
Okay.
And we can start in the meantime tying the bodies to the horses and rounding up the horses and whatever else needs to be done.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll go back and get the battle wagon.
Yeah, and Fergus would actually wait about 10 minutes after these two riders bolted past going in the opposite direction. He would have waited another 10 minutes to hear the quietness out there, knowing there's no further battle. He's going to slink down the building again and approach, and seeing the halfling laying there dead with these bolts in him, he's going to turn his body over and he's going to take his dagger out and he's going to go whoosh, whoosh, on both sides as he cuts the mustache off this halfling and wraps the mustache up in some cloth and puts in one of his belt pouches. And he's going to, of course, very stealthily move out to where he heard this battle, not knowing who or what's there.
At least it's not a dwarf. Sammy has some experience with that.
That's what to say.
Oh my god.
Sammy got curious, yeah.
Let's think about it.
And also, if he had anything on his body that's worth taking, I would take it, of course, the captain.
Oh, absolutely. He has a very nice ring that he wears on his right index finger. Looks very, very nice and has like the, Baron's like insignia on it and stuff, and probably has like the captain's name engraved or family name or something. As well as a coin pouch, I'll say for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stealthily approach until I see that it's the ones that are still standing are actually my friendlies, and then I would come out of the shadows and what has transpired here?
Lorsch made mashed face.
I've taken care of the one that had weighted the scale so much. The scale is somewhat balanced again, let's say.
Good. Well, it seems that we must take the fight to the Baron, for he will not stop taking it to us.
And when you say that, Fergus looks at you and he goes, "Oh, these are, you would think, the men on the Baron's side that you have taken care of then. They weren't coming to aid the captain, you think?"
Well, the captain, the Baron, it's all the same.
I'm afraid that it possibly might not be. You see, I noticed while I was hiding in the shadows, I noticed one of the captain's guards seemed to have a very fearful look when he noticed there were riders approaching. Maybe, anyway, maybe the Baron is not as troublesome as you make him out to be, but what do I know?
Huh.
Well, we'll know soon enough.
Because isn't that right, Marcus? I saw the guards kind of have a fearful look in their eye, didn't I, when they saw those riders approaching?
Yeah, they didn't seem too excited about that.
Okay.
Well, we were planning on, as you can see, strapping the bodies to the horses and lighting them aflame and using them as our front line in the attack against the Baron. We could just do that and then not attack the Baron.
Well, the scales keep going from one side to the other, but I've taken care of one of the offsets of the balancing, and maybe it would be best to approach and speak to the Baron first before we judge him on where he needs to weigh in the scales.
Marcus, is this the same barony that Clearhaven would be in?
No, it's right outside. It's like a neighboring one.
Okay.
You want the mayor's help?
No. Okay. I'm just wondering, should we take over the barony?
Oh yeah, well that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, that is still within your cards, possibly. At least this barony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess the question at this point is, well, there's a few different options on the table. We could do the attack, which maybe isn't the smartest thing in the world, but hey, we could just flee if we're close enough to Clearhaven, or we could go in at least somewhat peaceful and take a chance that they'll attack us and we'll just have to try to escape. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, that's what Fergus would be suggesting. He would want to approach the Baron maybe in a more diplomatic way to start with, and then if it does go downhill, fight or flee.
I'm not opposed to that.
Maybe what we should do is not enter the castle or fortress, but ask him to come out under a flag of truce.
Okay.
Rather than putting ourselves in a situation where we'd have to escape. At least we could have our battle wagon ready, and we would we'd stand a better chance of escaping if he turned against us.
Well, another idea of it has crossed my mind. It would help us. There are no witnesses left. I'll see that you chased 2 men back through town. They run like dogs with their tails wagging too much. But anyway, the Baron doesn't know what happened here, so my suggestion would be when we talk to him, explain to him that his little captain found us, and then another group of his men attacked the captains and his men, and we come, of course, flying the white flag for now.
That seems like a plausible story.
Okay. Yeah, I say we approach and we just ask to speak to the Baron, and let's just see where it goes from there. I'm not sure that if this captain of the guard is making this up, the Baron will have no reason to want to meet us outside. And it would be completely out of etiquette for that to be the case.
Perhaps we should bring the halfling's body.
That's what I'm thinking, or at least his head. That's whole body.
I look towards Lorsch when you mention head.
Yeah, she doesn't want to really part with it, but yeah.
It's okay. There's 10 other heads so you can have. And Nora will just pat her on the shoulder and say, 10 is enough.
Bush nods.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a nice, general plan for what you want to do, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we should do it in stages.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm suggesting. Since the Baron, according to the captain, is after Sammy. Sammy could ride up, as and request for him to come out and speak with her. And then if they act rude to us, then we can throw the halfling's body down, and say, we were attacked. Like if we just approach with the halfling's body or head now, that might look, if the Baron doesn't think the halfling is first of all, if the halfling was working with the Baron, or he doesn't know the halfling's working against him, us showing up with a dead halfling might not be a good idea. As a starting conversation.
Okay, so we can put the body in the battle wagon.
Yeah, exactly. So we can keep the bodies kind of hidden. And since we have these other bodies already, we can lead them kind of and hide them in the woods. So we can still use that plan for intimidation later. Since you made all the effort to tie them up and everything, we don't have wasted effort.
Yeah. This battle wagon doesn't have a catapult that we can send the heads over the wall, does it?
That'd be awesome. I think we just have the giant crossbows. You need a catapult, Lorsch.
Oh boy, Lorsch looks into the distance.
Lorsch is going to be a siege commander at some point.
Oh yeah. That's my future.
Oh gosh.
Okay, yeah, so I think that's the plan. Let's approach it somewhat peacefully, and then we can throw down bodies if we need to.
Yeah, for sure. And just for, I guess, description, whatever, the village is definitely coming to more of an alert. I mean, this is all transpired very fast, very quickly. But yeah, the village is starting to you'll see you hear shouting and stuff, and people kind of coming out of their homes, and some people locking up their homes, whatever. But regardless, the road to the Baron's Keep is, of course, unimpeded right now.
Okay, so we'll quickly grab the bodies and the horses and just head out of town with our battle wagon towards the Baron's Keep.
Okay. That sounds good. And I think that's where we're gonna close the curtains for today. Let's kind of set that one up for next time. That's a good breaking point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. I'll go aheole and kill the broadcast and dole out XP.